X3X3, read all about it. Welcome back, governors. Dodecadorks. We're the 12-sided guys. We have Scott as Ornan.
At your service.
Sabrina as Sylvie.
Oh, hello.
Matt as Guy.
That is my name. Don't wear it out.
And me, Paul, as Crutchy, that lovable scamp of a newsie selling papes for 2 coppers a pape. And no, I don't mean constables. No, I'm talking copper coins. X3X3, read all about it. Buttons, stickers, and shirts on sale at 12sidedguys.com. All the latest trends like t-shirts and t-shirts, or buttons and stickers, and even t-shirts. X3X3, read all about it.
I hate that. X3.
Experts say 12-Sided Guys podcast worthy of 5 stars. One quoted as saying, it's easy and really helps them out. Leave a review too. X3X3, read all about it. 12-Sided Guys has a Patreon. Joining will get you bonus content and help out the 12-Sided Guys. You can get your neighbor's potatoes, and I don't mean those bums who live next door what they're having for dinner. X3X3, read all about it. Breaking news.
Don't judge my dinner.
Breaking news today that the newest patrons of the 12-Sided Guys, Asa and Ellis, along with their mom, have reached level 12 in their campaign. When asked for comment, their dungeon master, Daniel, was heard remarking, I keep trying for that TPK just like the Paul of 12-Sided Guys, greatest dungeon master of all preachers, but Asa and Ellis keep walloping me. Anyway.
I heard him say that.
Walloping.
Anyway, if you ever delivered papes on your bike, all while avoiding dogs, cars, and kids on big wheels, then this podcast is for you. It's Chorus of the Forsaken, episode 54, Governor.
No comment about ramps at the end and all
ghosts.
that craziness.
There were ghosts.
Oh my gosh.
I forgot about the ramps and stuff at the end.
I don't think I got to the end very often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that game at the arcade with the actual handlebars.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was a great one.
Little buttons to shoot the papers out either side.
Yeah, so any of our listeners who are in New York, I apologize. I apologize profusely.
Yeah, but in all fairness, though, they're not in New York in the 1910s, so you're probably okay.
That's true, Governor.
Oh my God.
Didn't they say X3X3? Or is that just
I'm
something
pretty sure.
Did I dream it up?
Somebody said X3X3.
Like dangle. I think things were a thing and then they weren't. Like dangling Chads was actually hanging Chads. I don't know.
I just re-listened to that episode and it got me all over again.
Oh my gosh. I re-listened to every single episode. Just a little side note. I listened to every single episode of The Chorus of the Forsaken, starting with the prologue, episode 1, all the way up through the latest episode that just released. So I have now listened to them all again very recently, and I just have one question. Who's wearing
The pants? It's Sylvie.
No. What's the queen's name? I had it. Saskia. Who's wearing Saskia's crown? Where did that ever go?
Oh,
I think. Wait, is that the one that let you cast Charm Person?
No, the crown was a crown of. Yeah, the crown was a crown of blasting, and as I'm listening to the episode, as I'm listening to the episodes, like I realized we never identified it ever. We never got back to it.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, you know what? Okay, here we go. Then Guy's obviously wearing it underneath his helmet.
You're going to activate it with that nice, shiny, polished new helmet you got on. It's going to ricochet right back in your face.
Except for right back in my face. X3.
X3. Read all about it. Guy shoots himself in the face.
2 coppers of pape.
You probably don't remember this because we haven't had a chance to listen to this episode yet, but I've been editing it. Guy changed his helmet, if you remember. So he's wearing the old helmet with the feather because Bubbles only ever saw him with the very distinct woman's face helmet.
Oh, right. That's good to know, actually. That's really good to know. All right. Well,
Are you just tucking your ears or something?
It covers them. Oh, tuck my ears into the crown? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mogram. I'm not sure if you'll be able to respond to me. If it's too hard, it's okay. Just focus on recovering. Hey, you scared us, man. We're still scared. We have no idea if you're coming back to us. Are you coming back to us? We need you. And not just because we're in some deep Thanks to you, we did it. We sent Jingles away before his brother could send him after us. We even killed Bubbles thanks to you. You bought us the time we needed to kill the necromancer and get your body to a healer in the Temple of Shantea. Now we wait for you. Do you dream where you are? We visited the survivors of Oak Road in our sleep again. Wonder if you saw Spritz. James is in eastern Via Severia, heading toward Vrelina. It's strange. He seemed to snap out of his whole thing for a moment. I've never felt so much fear and despair. According to Sylvie, Jibjab is within view of Kladvina, it would seem, though they're trailing worse things than wolves in their wake. Apparently Bubbles' influence has not diminished, as the wilds around Jibjab are more dead than last time we saw them. Ornan has a somewhat positive report from Jingles. He's achieved autonomy, and he's relieved, though he didn't move on to his next thing. He's under the temple in Oak Road, and he's not alone. Apparently, he's the first to return, whatever that means. We're not sure what Peter's up to. Annalise isn't here. She's actually with you. She wants to watch over you while you convalesce. Oh, and Baldric the Black also made it out of Bubbles' tower, which maybe blew up? He told us that, as we feared, Bubbles isn't completely gone. He had another body to possess somewhere in the city. Oh, and he's pissed. There were some more of those necro-dampening markings where he reappeared, and he got rid of those right away. I fear we may have made things worse for the city. We already assumed it was going to be bad when Jibjab and Bubbles crossed paths, but with those safeguards erased, Kladvina's former inhabitants, and their pets, I guess, may soon make a violent appearance. And just in time for the Feast of Sweets, too. We were getting excited because there actually is a pie eating contest. Anyway, now would be a great time to feel better. If nothing else, we would all feel a lot better having you at our side for whatever horror's waiting in the overlap of Bubbles and Jibjab's Venn diagram. Hopeful and anxious at the same time. Guy. P.S. You can tell how serious I'm being by the fact that I didn't even mention urine once.
I actually really want to see some Jibjab versus Bubbles fan art. Like some WWE style fighting. So if somebody could do that for me,
like
that would
celebrity
be great.
deathmatch.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, brother.
Bubbles is as Sting, who basically was a clone of
He
the
was
Crow.
the Crow.
Yes.
And then see, Jibjab is either Hacksaw Jim Duggan or Mankind or like Mick Foley.
What? Because they're old?
That just I mean, when I think of like a hermit, like a a mountain dwelling hermit, I think of like a Mick Foley look, or
he's one half of the Bushwhackers.
There we go.
All right. Well, welcome back to Kladvina. Guy, as you finish writing in your book, you are all sitting here in the sitting room of the Suite 302 in the Grand Towers Hotel. We have Ornan sitting in a chair. We have Sylvie has just kind of gotten up from her nap. You guys have just recently been talking. Guy, you are sitting in one of the chairs, and Baldric the Black and Danon are also in here, sort of relaxing. You guys had just read through the newspaper, which talked about the Feast of Sweets Feast, which does include a pie eating contest, apparently. And you all are invited because you already have tickets because you are staying here at the hotel. Also, there's a lot more people here in the hotel this morning and today than there was yesterday. You all had just finished telling about the dreams that you had shared, and Baldric the Black came explaining to you that he saw Bubbles, and Bubbles apparently had one last clone jar somewhere else. Baldric explained he saw a naked Bubbles covered in amniotic fluid, scrubbing away the markings of protection and diminishment that you also had seen in Bubbles' lab over in Loxania. This second sigil is no longer protecting wherever Bubbles is currently. And it looked like it was in some sort of a warehouse or a garage. I guess they don't have garages. A garage? Is that what they call them?
A carport?
A car hole.
Slay.
Yes. No, it's like a warehouse of some kind. The doors were chained shut. You saw there were some windows up high that were covered with curtains to block out the sun. And Baldric explained that it was a very Spartan room, but large, like a warehouse. And here you all sit. So, what do you guys want to do? It is now probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You guys have had a long rest. So you have all your hit points back. All your skills are back. One last thing I do want to point out there with the Feast of Sweets feast, if that is what you guys decide you want to do, it is formal.
And Guy's already dressed formally. We established
yes, a
that.
formal pie eating contest, like always.
Oh, Ornan, that collar I got you would work great. It's formal and it will keep the rest of your clothing clean.
That's amazing.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm wondering if maybe we should focus our efforts on trying to find this warehouse. I know the pie eating contest does sound like a lot of fun.
Well, you said Jibjab is just outside of the city. Like, Jibjab can see the city across the water.
Oh, yeah, they're coming in hot.
They'll be here maybe even tonight.
So we should eat pie first.
There's a chance that Jibjab could be there. It could happen.
This may be the last chance we get to eat pie before, we all die.
I can't argue that.
Ornan gets really sad at the thought of not going to the pie eating contest. Well, if it's really what you guys want to do,
I'm not trying to be a bummer.
Here's the deal. Everybody who's anybody is going to be at the pie eating contest. I can't believe those words just came out of my mouth.
It's the Feast of Sweets feast. And yes, anybody who's anybody in the city will be there. All of the big names will be there. The only person you guys have gathered, the only person who won't be there would be the Baroness and anybody who's still with her, because she is more than likely still in Mirloff.
There were those kitty people. They would be fun to see again.
Yes, there were.
Joey Chestnut?
I guess what I'm saying is we know that Bubbles has connections with the Prosperous Path, and a very wealthy guild will probably have somebody here connected to them. There may be an opportunity for us to get some information, to ask around and find out a little bit more about their operations. It may even help us pin down where Bubbles may have a safe house under their protection. It seems like they're, in bed together.
Baldric speaks up and he says, well, if we're going to the Feast of Sweets feast, I better get changed. And he...
Come hungry, because you're going to be... You're taking my spot.
Oh, you're not going to do the pie eating contest?
We need 4 of us.
Right. No, it was going to be Danon. She said she could eat. I promise. I was editing the episode. I heard it.
Yes, no. She's like, I can eat.
And we're having
I prefer not meat pies,
right.
as long as it's not a meat pie.
Hopefully it's like mountain blueberry. Isn't that a flavor of like Tillamook ice cream?
I didn't say anything about fish pies. Very demure, very mindful.
I'm a vegetarian too. I wouldn't eat meat pies if they had them. Hopefully they're sweets.
She looks at you and she goes, yes, I noticed that you're a vegetarian too. We seem to have some things in common.
Ornan blushes like hard. Oh, yes, we do. Danon? Yep.
This is adorable.
God, Ornan's becoming a little bit of a slut.
Ornan's got a thing for dwarven women, apparently.
Ornan, this is my shtick. Come on. Stay in your lane.
I haven't slept with anyone in the campaign.
Danon says, well, if I'm going to be a part of this, I should probably go find something more fitting to wear. She looks down at her like leather and hide and everything. And she's like, I should probably find something a little bit more fitting for something like this. But I wouldn't even know where.
Are we going to do a shopping trip?
I need to.
I still have this great dress with this giant bow on the back that I am loving. It really looks good on me.
It's true. And I spent the money to make sure that it was straight up the fanciest clothing I could buy.
I could wear a dress too. I think that might be the fanciest thing I own.
The costume?
Yes.
All right. So anyway, if you four will do that, I can mingle with the crowd and try to find out some more information. Plus, I need to keep these abs sharp, like I said last time. So I'm not going to be stuffing myself with pie.
Well, your loss.
Okay, so Baldric steps out and he actually says, "I'll be back within in the next couple of hours. I'll just plan on meeting you here in the suite."
I wonder if the Belvedere, what was his name?
Mr. Vidir.
Mr. Vidir. I wonder if he could get some clothes for me.
Oh yeah, hey Baldric, stick around. I'll ring the bell.
Okay, you ring the bell. Baldric is standing by the door. You come over and you ring the bell. And after about 20 seconds, the door opens and Mr. Vidir is standing right outside. Yes, you rang.
We need fancy clothes for some people here who don't have fancy clothes.
Wait, does he look winded? How close to the door was he standing? 20 seconds isn't very long.
So Mr. Vidir is the concierge for the third floor suites, and you guys know that there's only like 4 suites on the third floor, so he doesn't have that much space to cover.
Damn, we're fancy.
You guys are super fancy.
The third floor suites in the northwest tower. There's more towers.
There's 4 towers.
Okay, well that makes sense. I'm glad we had an explanation for that.
Mr. Vidir.
Yes.
Could you get me some clothes?
Oh, is it for the Feast of Sweets feast tonight? Shall I call a tailor?
Yes, call a tailor. The way you looked at me when I told you this is what I'd be wearing made me feel rather embarrassed. So please call a tailor.
And for each of you, should I bring in everyone I can find? He's kind of looking around, and he looks at you, and he's like, "No, you're fine."
So fine.
Baldric actually says, "I actually have some clothes. I just need to go get them. So you don't need to worry about me. I'll be back."
So I guess it's just Ornan and Danon then?
Just Ornan and Danon.
Yes, and make sure you get them something that's very elastic in that waist area.
Oh, yes. That's right. You signed up for the pie eating contest, and your team name is Two Fly for a White Pie. Is that what you guys were?
Yes, that was
Two
it.
pie for a white guy, yeah.
Two pie for a white guy.
2 pies for a white guy.
Oh my gosh. I love it, though, so much. It's so fun.
Well, I appreciate the help, Mr. Vidir.
Of course, yes. I will summon the tailors, and we will get something situated for you. They should be here within the hour. They do require a deposit, and he holds out a hand.
Of course. What's the standard deposit?
It would be 8 gold per person.
All right.
Of course, that goes towards your final mendings and all your final fittings and everything. But we are on a time crunch.
Ornan will hand over 16 gold.
Thank you very much. I will return. And then he hustles down out of sight, closing the door behind him. All right, you guys are all left here in the waiting room. I love this so much.
Okay, well, while you guys are getting your clothes and stuff done, I was thinking of running down to Closton Cubby's Curios and getting rid of this staff. honestly, I'm worried that if we have it on us and Bubbles starts like looking for us, he may be able to track us by it. So I'm just gonna, get some cash for it and be done.
Should we sell everything that we found there?
There's a circlet you've been wearing on your head for months now, and we don't know anything about it. Technically weeks now.
Okay, I'll take 10 minutes.
It feels like a year ago.
It might have been a month.
I'll take 10 minutes to cast my identify spell and see what it is. And then I'll just go sell this staff. The books, though, Sylvia, I think you may be able to copy some of those spells into your own book.
We went through those last time, right?
Yeah, but
we
Annalise will look at me when I use them. I don't know if it's good value. I don't want to be judged that hard.
If you just change the name of them and just don't let on that they're... some of them are very useful. I'm sure she knows some of them, like speak with dead. Come on.
That's true. She is a little bit of a hypocrite.
Just like write not necromancy over the top.
Yeah. Instead of ray of enfeeblement, call it like get you winded.
Ray of I'm not doing so good right this second, yo.
Exactly.
Ray of shellfish food poisoning. You guys are sitting here just shooting the breeze, whatever. And after
I'm getting my ritual prepared for identify.
And Sylvie's getting her clothes on, fixing her hair, making sure she's looking presentable. Like, it takes a minute, dude.
Perfect. Quick question. I'm trying to remember. What all did you identify? Because there were also some books and there were some potions that Mogram had as well.
Ornan grabbed a couple of books.
Yeah, the books were the spell books. Were those the spell books or different?
There were two spell books and there were two other books.
I grabbed 2 books, but I couldn't read them, or at least I didn't have a chance to.
Okay, I haven't. Yeah, I didn't do anything with the books last time. I didn't remember any potions, so those are still on Mogram's. Like, what do we call it? Like quasi corpse.
Yeah.
Would we have left his backpack with his body, or would we have brought his stuff with us?
I did get the spell books from him. I think he had those spell books, right? So let's say we have his backpack. That's fine.
And Ornan, you have not told me that you've tried to read these books at all yet. So I don't know if you were going to try to read them or not.
I'll take a chance, while we're sitting here to glance at them to see if I can even read them.
Okay. All right. As you guys are sitting there waiting for Mr. Vadir, you first off, Guy, you cast your identify spell, and you look at this circlet that you guys have been hauling around now for weeks. I believe what happened when Mogram put it on is he could detect there was power in it, and he could detect he didn't need to attune to it, but he never actually figured out what the power was. As you cast identify, you recognize that this is it's Queen Saskia's crown, and it is technically a circlet of blasting, which means that when you wear this, you can cast Scorching Ray with the attack bonus of +5, and you can only use it one time, so it shoots out 3 beams of Scorching Ray.
Okay, well, I don't know if this would be very useful for me anymore. I mean, maybe before I hit level 5. Could Prancival maybe wear it? By the way, Prancival is back. I did summon him as well during our downtime.
Prancival cannot wear it.
Or Danon, do you want this? You can shoot fireballs from your forehead. It's pretty awesome.
She kind of looks at it. She's like, I mean, it might go well with whatever outfit I get for tonight. Sure, I'll take it. Okay.
Awesome. It feels like you're part of the team now.
All right.
Getting to share in some of the loot.
Ornan, you're sitting there in this nice leather comfy chair, and you pull out one of the books. There's 2 of them. So you pull out one and you flip it open and see if you can read it. I need you to
make an intelligence saving throw.
You need to know what languages I speak.
I need you to take 31 points of psychic damage.
What? No save. No save.
Oh my goodness.
As you attempt to read a manual on the construction of clay golems.
Oh my goodness. Jeez.
The level of intelligence you need for this is, I mean, it's a magic item, and you feel your headache start, and before you even get like 3 words in, you like the book like blasts out of your hands. And as you're looking at it, you're like, okay, these books look very similar.
The first 3 words are so you're interested.
Clay golems for dummies. Ah!
Yeah, so it's 6d6 psychic damage, and I rolled very well.
I rolled normally
31.
Do.
Yeah,
6666544. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Seriously.
Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah. So that book, the other one looks very similar. You know that these are magic. You can also identify them as well to get more information, but Ornan, you cannot read these.
Ornan will hand them to Sylvie and say, well, I took to reading as a young lad. I think it might not suit me too much anymore.
That's okay. This print is really small. Don't worry about it. You probably just can't see it well enough. I'll take care of it.
There were at least 3 syllables in the first word.
Ornan, did you forget your readers?
Yeah, this psychic damage is actually eye strain damage. Oh gosh.
Wait, if Sylvie busted open, is it? Well, I want to bust it open. I just want to see what happens.
Okay, Sylvie, I need you to take 25 points of psychic damage as it blasts you as well.
Heck,
these are magical.
Really
you can identify them if you want to, and they'll give you information about them.
Guys, stop reading these painful books. Give me 10 minutes. I'll take this one that's been hurting you so much.
Here's another.
Just for and giggles, I'll take a look. No, I'm kidding.
We're all doing it, Damon.
You gotta be curious, right?
Oh my gosh,
it's true. It's true.
Yeah, Sylvie, you can cast level 4 spells, right? Can you cast any level 5?
Yeah, we can all cast level 4 spells.
At least 4. Yeah, just 4.
Just 4. Okay. All right. Guy, you leave your circle up and you start working some mojo. You know you have to go quick because these tailors are going to show up any minute, but you managed to identify what this first book is. So it's a manual of clay constructs. This book, it contains information and incantations that are necessary to make a clay construct, but you have to be a spellcaster with at least 2 5th level spell slots, and if you're not, then you take 66 psychic damage just trying to read it. And then the rest of it just goes through and tells you how to make a clay construct, and 65,000 gold pieces is the price point to build one. And 30 days.
Oh my goodness.
What I want to know is if those gutters were like part of the process.
Do they come pre-built, or do you gotta pay extra?
The identify spell says that was all just window dressing.
Yeah, basically, looking at what I'm getting off of this book, I think that Bubbles must have taken some pottery classes at some point to be able to sculpt those gutters.
They were delightful. Damon, you missed out on those.
Impressive.
Oh my gosh. All right. And as you guys are figuring this out, you start scrubbing away the chalk and put your candles away just in time for the door to be knocked upon. And as it opens, you guys can all take a short rest as well to get some hit points back.
Hey, Sylvie, do you want to hold on to these books? Do you think you'll use them eventually? Or do you want me to go see if I can get some money from Kloss and Cubby?
No, I can read. I can read real good. Yeah, you give me those. I'll figure it out. Just give me a couple more levels.
All right. Here's those books. All right. Oh, tailors are here. I'll see y'all later.
All right, so Guy is going to take off. These tailors, they come in and they have like their. You see that there are 2 tailors who come in. One of them is a gnomish woman. She's got like the pincushion on her wrist. She's got like big long needles stuck into a bun on the back of her head. She has little spectacles down on the tip of her nose. Her hair is slightly gray, and she is no nonsense. The other one who comes in is quite foppish. He comes in. He is wearing like a long purple, not long. It's like a half cape, but totally doesn't keep the rain off. It's all just for show. He's got pants that match the cape. He's got a big jaunty hat on. You two, Danon and Ornan, you guys can pick which one you want to work with, the no-nonsense gnome or the foppish dandy.
The way you described him, he sounds like a pimp.
Dandy.
Danon, I'll let you choose.
Danon chooses the gnome. She's like, I trust you. So Danon will go into Annalise's room with the gnomish tailor, and Ornan, the foppish man, he says, "Well, show me to your room."
Is this actually Roos in disguise?
It's totally Roos.
Does he have a sweater vest?
Sweater vests are all the rage. Look at these pockets. They're so large, I can keep anything in here, even my secret pocket lizard.
Ornan will show him to the room.
All right, awesome. He pulls out his tape measure and he's looking at you and he's like, I think with your coloring, something in... Ornan, pick a color.
Putting me on the spot here.
I was putting myself on the spot and I realized I didn't want to be there.
Let's go white.
White with your complexion and your hair color and you have a mustache, right?
Yeah, I think in a recent one I said I've been growing a beard. So okay. I think I have like a little beard.
It's like, how important is the beard?
Well,
it's like, never mind. We'll work around it. And then he starts pulling out his tape measure. He checks your inseam. He checks your arm length. He checks your inseam again.
He checks your inseam. He checks your outseam.
He's basically the tailor on Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes. Oh man.
Yes. I was thinking originally the tailor that Joey went to on Friends, where it's like, yeah, check your length, your inseam, and the jiggle. Oh, yeah.
You gotta test these testes.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so Ornan, you are working with this tailor, something in white. I'll let you think about what you want it to look like, but just it's going to be a little over the top. Guy, you leave. Oh, Sylvie, what are you doing? Are you going with Guy, or are you going to help Danon pick out her outfit? What are you going to do?
I mean, Sylvie already has like her outfit, so she would just be putting that on, and then she would go with Guy if he wanted some security, some muscle.
No, come with me, and we'll leave Prancival here in the apartment.
You head down to the lobby of the Grand Towers Hotel. You can see that it is still packed. People are still arriving and checking in, but the other people who've been here for a few hours or a couple of days, they're all starting to get on their fancy clothes. It's like when you're on a cruise and it's formal night and you see people walking around in their tuxedos. It's that sort of thing. It's that feel. There's a lot of excitement in the air because the Feast of Sweets Feast is like a big deal. There are lots of people who prefer the Feast of Sweets Feast to the actual Feast of Sweets tournament. It's more of it's the social event for the upper crust, whereas the tournament tends to be more for the rest of the city, for everybody. All right, Sylvie and Guy, you approach Closton Cubby's Curios. As you approach the door, you see Closton Cubby is actually coming to the door with a sign that says closed. He's about ready to hang on the door. He's like, welcome back. He looks around, looks up at the sun to see what time it is. If you'll be quick, come on in. No perception check needed. You see Closton Cubby is dressed in his finest. I told you before that his hair is purple. He dyes it purple. He's got like a big, nice mustache with curls in it. His outfit that he is wearing is like a black shirt with like a gray vest, but there's like pearls sewn into the vest. It's very over the top. But he's got these nice pants on. His shoes are shiny as can be. He's like, come on in. Oh, what can I help you with today?
Oh, we just have one short transaction, and then we probably could walk back to the Grand Towers with you if you're interested.
Oh, you're going... Oh, he looks at your outfit. He's like, yes, the Feast of Sweets Feast.
Hello, I live there.
Oh, well, yeah, what is it that you... are you looking to purchase, or do you have more things that I might be interested in?
I think you may be interested in this, and I will spin the necro staff like some kind of like a fancy cane.
Okay.
Show him.
He looks at it. He's like, "May I hold it? And let me see kind of what it does."
Yes.
Okay. He steps into the kind of, not in the back room, but he kind of steps over to one of the display cases. He pulls out like a little jeweler's loop and puts it in his eye. He starts looking at this staff. Sylvie and Guy, I need you guys both to make perception checks. Oh, real quick. There are new rules coming out for Dungeons and Dragons. We are going to start incorporating those rules very, very soon. And I'm going to try now to start incorporating some of them even now. One of the things we're going to start doing is like in combat, instead of me saying to make a perception check, that will now be an action. So we're going to start to do that kind of thing moving forward. All right, well, very good. So perception checks all around. What'd you guys get?
Sylvie got a 16.
And Guy got a nat 20 for a 24.
Woo!
Sylvie, nothing out of the ordinary. Guy, as you're watching Klost and Cubby looking at this staff, you look at his jeweler's loop and you see this little glimmer in it, and you recognize that the jeweler's loop, he's kind of turned away from you. The jeweler's loop is opaque. And as you look more closely at it with your natural 20, you recognize that there's no lens in the jeweler's loop. It's actually a large pearl.
Oh, okay. Because the pearl is the component for the identify spell.
Very possibly. He turns back towards you with this staff. He says, this staff is, well, let's just say I think it's relatively powerful. However, I mean, it's a certain clientele might be interested in this, and it's not necessarily a clientele that I usually deal with. Hold
on, let me stop you right there. Did you know that the Raise Dead spell is also necromancy?
Well, that's just it. I mean, maybe like a follower of one of the gods here in town might have use for it, but I see this being much more potent for maybe a follower of or a studier of the arcane, and I don't want to be tied up in any of that sort of thing. You understand?
Oh no. What I was thinking is, this could also be a good in for you with, like, the Church of Kelemvor, right? You could even say, hey, send them a note. Hey, I found this thing you might be very interested in. It has to do with death and whatnot.
He kind of looks at it and he's like, it's very powerful, but
This is my attempt to persuade him, by the way.
Certainly you know somebody who wants this. Like, it's a very powerful staff, and...
Make a persuasion check. You can take it with advantage. Guy.
Of course I can, because I have that awesome scepter. 27.
I might be able to find a buyer. I could part with 2,000 gold for it.
Done.
Okay. 2,000 gold goes towards you, Guy, and he takes the necro staff away from you.
And I give 1,000 to Sylvie.
He says, okay, I mean, if you want to walk to the Grand Towers with me, that's fine. Let me go put this somewhere safe. And he kind of walks around into the back room. He's back there for a minute or two. And then he comes back out and he's like, oh, okay. The Feast of Sweets feast, is that where we're headed? Let's go.
Let's go.
You guys move on back towards the Grand Towers Hotel. We are back up in Suite 302 with Ornan and this foppish tailor, whose name is
Taylor.
You know what? Yes. His name is actually Jonathan Taylor. Okay, so
You've
you
got
are
quite firm hands, Jonathan.
Oh gosh, I love it.
Ooh, Johnny strong hands, eh?
Okay. All right. So, Ornan, you are now fitted for this outfit. Jonathan Taylor Thomas, is currently fixing some of the seams, stitching up. He's checking your inseam again, and you are dressed in this fine outfit. Orton, what does it look like?
So it's kind of, it looks kind of like a Tudor style, like medieval coat. So it's like a coat over a very fancy shirt. Coat is all white and there's no sleeves on it. So it just kind of like hangs over his shoulders, and it's clasped together with this like really fancy brooch. And then down, it's got, the shirt that he's wearing is a mix of blue and white, blue on the sides that would go underneath the coat, and then white down the middle, embroidered with, gold stitching all over it, like massive buttons all over the place. Regular white pants, but it comes to finish off the ensemble. It comes with a very garden gnome looking hat, very pointy, very tall, and also in like a deep blue color.
Nice. Very cool. All right. Yeah, you look not just nice, but you also, this is very, maybe not what you might wear down in Glimhaven, but this is a very gnomish style as well, but still very, very posh, very, very expensive looking. As you come out of your room, you see that also Danon comes out of Annalise's room, and she is wearing a beautiful green gown. It looks like
You even have a token of her with a green gown on.
wow.
Damn. I like her.
I did make a token. So it's a green gown. It's not the darker greens that you've seen like on the livery and on the surcoats for all of the people who like all of the guards and things here in town. It's more of a brighter green. And she's got some golden like chains that are around her neck as well. Her head has that circlet, the circlet of blasting on, but she has taken some of this like ivy that she usually wears in her hair, and she's wound it kind of around the crown as well. So she still has that earthiness to her, but Ornan, she's looking pretty good.
Wow.
She's looking pretty good. You know.
She cleans up nice, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
And then there is a knock on the door, and then just the door opens, and in walks Baldric the Black.
You got a new outfit for him
Jeez.
too.
He is wearing a new outfit as well. His is multicolored, so it has like a red scarf. It's got a red scarf around his neck. He's got like a green tunic on with like blue long sleeves coming out underneath it. He still has his lute, but it looks like it's more polished or something. Actually, no, scratch that. He does not have his lute with him. He has a very like made out of dark wood, glistening, like
that a Fender?
smooth to a
It's
fine
a Gibson.
Disregard the portrait there. He actually has a violin, a viol that he has with him, a much finer, much more expensive instrument, much more upper crust. He's like, oh.
Well, now I feel like I need to describe what Guy's wearing, because I've just been saying he's wearing fancy clothes.
Well, let's see. Guy and Sylvie, you guys get back to the Grand Towers Hotel. Closton Cubby says, well, I'll see you in the ballroom. And, maybe we can have a drink. And again, thanks for all of your patronage. And then he wanders into one of the bars, and you guys head back up to
Under my
Suite
breath, I
32.
say, thanks for all your money.
I think it's funny that he has purple hair and so does Ornan, but Ornan's is natural, and Closton Cubby has to dye his.
Yeah, he's a total poser.
But you're both gnomes. You're both purple-haired gnomes. All right, Guy and Sylvie, you guys walk in. You see Baldric the Black and Danon in their new outfits. Just as you see this no-nonsense gnomish woman with spectacles on. Her hair is a little bit more frizzed and frayed as she's been working very, very fast as she leaves, as so does Jonathan Taylor Thomas. He leaves as well.
How about he's Jonathan Thomas the tailor?
There you go. Jonathan Thomas, the tailor. I love it. And it's still JTT. Technically, it's JTTT.
And you know how much I love TTs.
Okay, so you each paid 8 already. For fancy clothing, I believe is it 25? Is it 20 gold pieces for fancy clothes? I gotta look that up. Clothes. Fine clothes are 15 gold pieces, so it's gonna cost you each another we'll say 20 total because they had to do a house call. So 12 gold from you and 12 gold from Danon.
Ornan will pay for both of them.
Oh, that's so kind of you. All right. And here you all are.
And then a 5 gold tip for Mr. Vadir.
Oh, he's like, oh, well, thank you very much. The Feast of Sweets feast will be beginning shortly. So some people are already moving to the ballroom. And just in case you are wondering, the ballroom cannot be accessed through this tower. You will have to go back downstairs to the... Give me a second. I have to actually go to the map because I can't remember.
And speaking of ballroom, how those pants fitting, Ornan?
They're quite tight. I'm not sure.
It looked like he was really measuring that inseam, so they should be perfect.
I noticed. They're looking good.
They're a lot more tight than the pants I normally wear.
I didn't realize the dump truck you had.
I hope that the coat would go down at least to cover my backside, but it really only goes to my mid-back.
Oh, no, don't cover up your
you don't want that.
Well, I feel so objectified.
Isn't it great?
So Mr. Vadir says you will have to access the ballroom from either the northeast tower or you can get there from the southeast tower. But it is the 6th floor, so you have to go down 3 flights and then back up 6 flights. But well worth it. And good luck to fly for a white pie.
Two
pies for a white guy.
2 pies for a white guy. He's like, I think I put the name in wrong. Oh, I better go change it. And then he goes and runs off outside.
Jeez.
All right, you guys are here. You guys are ready for the Feast of Sweets feast. I'm going to continue to say Feast of Sweets feast because I think it's hilarious. And I can say it without stumbling. So very good. All right. Baldric says, well, shall we head over to the feast?
Of course. Danon, and Ornan will hold out his arm for her to grab.
Nice.
I will say this about, again, I mentioned Guy, I want to describe Guy's clothes.
Okay, well, really quick, let's describe Pranciful. Pranciful has a tiny little top hat and a little bow tie now.
Yes.
Yes, he does. He does totally. Somehow you're not sure how.
What?
You're not sure how, but Jonathan Thomas, the tailor, he actually, even while he was working with Ornan, he still somehow had time to put a little top hat and a stitch together little bow tie for Pranciful.
That's awesome. Well, so Guy's fancy clothes, he is wearing his nice breastplate with the horses on it because it's nice, it's magical, it looks good, and he's wearing his helmet too. But the rest of his clothing, he has some very tight black leather pants, and he's got these, instead of wearing like big like boots, he's got some shorter leather shoes that are nicer and laced. And then over the top, because it's a breast.
Wait, you're wearing leather and lace? Yes.
Lovers forever.
Didn't mean to derail you. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, and then, but the jacket he has over the top, so he's like wearing like a nice white, like cuffed, ruffled shirt with like, a cravat and everything. But over the top of the shirt and the breastplate, he has a jacket. His arms are not in the sleeves. It's kind of like resting over his shoulders, similar to Ornan, but it has sleeves on it, and it's this black jacket that has all this silver threaded brocade that actually has it has ravens kind of as the motif throughout all this, and the whole front and back, like the part that covers the torso, is all this brocade.
Oh, that's right, because you're wearing Fantasy Job's clothes.
Yes. And it's Ravenstone clan stuff.
Caleb. So. Yeah, Caleb's clothes. That's right. Okay, fantastic. Well, I'm going to move you all over to the ballroom. Here we go.
I will say,
geez,
when
Sabrina. That GIF you just posted.
Oh, 10 out of 10.
It's amazing.
I will say, though, when we're leaving that room and Sylvie sees Ornan offer his arm to Danon, she will stand very close to Baldric to wait to see if he offers his arm to her.
Oh, Baldric, actually, when you kind of stand there and you start pulling out your arm, before you can even finish getting your arm out, he actually gives you a very elegant and proper bow. And then he takes your arm.
And I can't be seen coming in with somebody else because how am I going to hit anything if they think I'm taken?
Okay. All right. So you guys head downstairs to the lobby. You see the lobby is more empty now. People are moving up either the northeast or the southeast staircase to get to the 6th floor. You see people dressed in all their finery. You see dwarves, you see halflings, and you see gnomes. You see humans with all shades of skin, all hair colors. You see that there are even a couple of tieflings, some dragonborn. You do see that fancy tabaxi couple moving up the stairs as well. And moving slowly up the stairs, you see a kind of a little bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? A dumpy couple of dumpy turtles moving up the stairs.
Oh, I love them though.
Oh, you're like, what do you think? What do you think, honey? You think it will fit in here? Of course we will. This is the event of the season. And then you guys arrive in the ballroom. The ballroom is a large open space. So I'm going to kind of describe what you see as you come in. Just like the rest of the Grand Towers Hotel, beautiful woodwork everywhere. You come up to the top of the staircase. There is a long hall, like 20 feet wide, beautiful, kind of a chevron pattern to the hardwood floor. There are tables with busts and vases all lining the wall. And at the end of the hall, there is a double door with a butler standing there. And as you walk in, the butler opens the door and you walk into this large open space. This room has a tile floor. You see that the majority of the room is this black and white checkerboard style of tile, and it is surrounded by a strip of black marble. There is this emblem in the middle of the floor that is tile work that has been not just placed there, but also like lacquered over and smoothed out so that there's no edges to catch when you might be dancing. It is this large G for the Grand Towers Hotel. But on the north and the south of the room, there are also these balconies that overlook the room. So you have a staircase in the west corner that goes up to the northern balcony, and in the southeast corner there is a staircase that spirals around, beautiful dark wood, and spirals around to this beautiful wooden balcony that overlooks the south side of this ballroom. And you see that there are so many people in this room. Some of our players have already seen some people that maybe they recognize. First off,
Yep.
I am going to...
I would never forget her.
First off, I'm going to let you know from where you guys are when you enter in, you cannot see up on top of the balconies, except for if somebody might be standing at the railing looking down. But you can see there are a couple of people, some finely dressed folk who are up there. They have drinks in their hands. They're chatting. So you see there are people up on the balconies, both in the north and the south. But right away when you walk in, you see... Well, actually, let's do... Okay, as you guys are surveying the crowd, you can do either perception or you can do investigation.
Oh man, this time Guy got a 9. Perception.
Ornan got a 19 perception.
Sylvie got a 22 investigation.
Okay, you guys are going to kind of get the same types of things, Ornan and Sylvie. Guy, you look around and you see potential. You see potential everywhere. In the center of the room, you see this.
Potential.
There's no pie yet. In the center of the room, you see dancing just right in the center of the room, right over the tile G for the Grand Towers Hotel. You see this beautiful tiefling couple, and they are dancing so elegantly. Their movement is so smooth, and you're like, either one. And you see.
I wonder if they're looking for a unicorn.
You see this other woman is dancing, but she's all dancing all by herself. She is this sort of like middle-aged, maybe late middle-aged Asian woman. She is wearing like orange and gold, like a tight blouse. She's got like kind of a dress that hangs down over like some skin-tight leggings, actually. And she is dancing by herself, which in some of this company might seem kind of odd, but she's incredibly graceful. And so, Guy, with your 9 perception, I'm going to have you make a religion check or a history check.
Doesn't matter. They're both +0. It's only a 6.
Cool. All right. So yeah, you see a lot of potential.
She looks like a goddess to you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You see a ton of potential. Okay. Now we're gonna get to some more things that now Sylvie and Ornan see. Right off the bat, Sylvie, you walk in. You look to your left. Standing in the corner, you see that same Aeonin guard, that crusader, that Dyrenian woman that you saw earlier today at the brunch. If you recall, she was standing watching the archprelate having dinner having a brunch with somebody. She is standing here off to the side, not joining in any of the revelry. She is just looking straight ahead, and as you follow her gaze, you see not 30 feet from you, you see that same old woman. You see the archprelate, who you would know is the archprelate. Agnes is her name. She is this old woman with gray hair. She is wearing a black robe that is just, instead of just being like the hem or like the seams being lined with gold, it is a ton of gold scroll work all across the bodice and on the sleeves. And she is talking with some sort of a rich dwarf. Ornan, you, as you walk in, you glance around, you see a whole bunch of rich-looking folk. You instantly spot Clostencubby, and Clostencubby is talking to somebody who, this finely dressed woman in black. She has like a black choker on. She has a black, like a kind of a lacy band holding her hair back. And she turns as she is laughing at something Clostencubby said, and you recognize. What was her name again? Was it? Yes, Shireen Shadowrose. You recognize Neldor's sister, the widow. Mm-hmm. She is here. This beautiful woman is here at the Feast of Sweets Feast. You also, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a lot of things to see.
Can't believe I offered my arm to Baldric
I
when
know,
this woman was going to be here.
There's a lot of eye candy in the room.
There is a ton of eye candy.
Especially this guy back here.
Which guy?
This
I'm also
golem-looking guy.
I'm noticing Hagrid up here by the tower or by the pillar.
Aww.
Dude, everybody in here is beautiful. There's Lando Calrissian even. You see that guy?
Seriously.
See Lando up there?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
With the looks like an Eastern European singer for a punk band.
Yeah.
Where's Lando?
Lando.
Oh, yes.
And then we've got Hagrid up here.
That's a dwarf. Okay, so I've got labels on every token. Some of these tokens are literally just like rich dwarf, rich woman, all that kind of stuff. But a lot of these are named. And I am just waiting for Matt. Doesn't matter which character you're playing. Matt's going to find the jester and go try to hit her up. I guarantee it. Okay.
There is a bard. I see her down south.
Yes. So, some other people that both Sylvie and Guy clock right away. You see there is an elf couple. And as you look around the room, you see there is one elf couple total in the room. You see that it is a finely dressed man and woman. They look to be, they're elves, so it's hard to tell how old they are, but they're probably somewhere in their early middle ages, and they are speaking with a Leonin man who is actually kind of orange. He's got like these black stripes on him. He is a tiger Leonin. He's really cool. And other people that you recognize that you see, there is a bard. You do see there is this woman. She is, did I say? Yeah. There is this woman that you spot kind of down in the south. She's speaking with two men who she has all of their attention. They are enraptured by her. And with the high perception and investigation rolls that we had from Sylvie and Ornan, you recognize her hair is like this bright, vibrant red, but it's not dyed red. It's like natural, but it's so red that it's almost unnatural. And you can see that it almost like waves in the air, and I won't even make you make like an Arcana check. There is some kind of fire spirit or something in her history that has manifested itself here in this woman. She's a fire genasi, but she is, it looks like she has these two men just eating out of her hand. Let's see, who else do you see? You see a few orcs. You see there is a woman orc. She's wearing not fine clothes at all. In fact, she is dressed like you saw her earlier. Ornan, when you saw her when the other two male orcs were arguing, you see one of these orcs is talking with a couple of Dragonborn, and you see the other orc, who you now know is Torgal, the leader of Torgal's Tuskers. You see he also is wearing just like leather traveling clothes. He's got some armor on. Apparently, the rules for dress don't apply when you are famous for having won the tournament. You see that there's a group of people surrounding him. He is regaling them with some kind of a story, and with your high perception, you do hear him being like, I tell you what, brother. And then maybe you yeah. And then took a sword. And that's right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Torgal, Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh yeah.
Torgal and the Torgal's Tuskers. Oh yeah, bro. You hear like him talking about what he's gonna do in the tournament that starts tomorrow.
What you gonna do when Torgal's Tuskers run wild on you?
You see,
and then another guy from his party just goes, "Woo!"
Yeah, that's right. You see also that if you recall that at brunch, you saw the archprelate was having brunch with somebody. You see that same man, this old man with he's got quite the beard. It looks like he has, it looks like he was probably a warrior of some kind. So he's still got that warrior's build, but you see he's bald. He's got a white beard. You see him talking with a couple of rich folk as well. Down at the far southeast corner, you see two what must be like acolytes or followers of different deities. You see that there is this dwarven man with a long white beard. He's got these elegant robes on, fur trimmed. He's got this hat on with a big jewel. He even has a staff in his hand that looks very ornate. And you see him talking to, you don't recognize this guy, but you recognize his outfit. You recognize this goblin. He is wearing
he
the
looks
kind of
cool as hell.
Oh, we're not calling them gobloids this season?
No, they're not goblins. And they can say more. They're not Pokemon this time. You see he is wearing the bluish green robes of an archivist from the Prolian Archive. And it appears that maybe this might be the head archivist might be talking with some other religious leader here in town. You see the turtles. They are kind of standing by oh yeah, okay, there's a lot to do in here, guys. So for all you listeners, there's a lot. Okay, you see these turtles. They're standing kind of looking uncomfortable but excited.
When you say a lot, do you mean a lot of actions or a lot of people to do?
A lot of people. Here's the deal.
Little column A, little column B.
Guy, when you walked in, you saw potential. Sylvie and Ornan, when you guys walked in, you saw so much potential, but different kind of potential. These are the movers and the shakers. There is a lot that, in game terms, there's a lot of story hooks and plot hooks and different things going on here in this ballroom that, depending on who you talk to, Might depend on where the story ends up going. But you do see these two turtles. They are talking with a gnomish woman or a halfling woman. She's short. She's got red hair. It's kind of short. It's done up kind of nice. Actually, it's not kind of short. It's very short. It's even like cut in the back. It doesn't even go down to her shoulders. They are talking with her.
Is that Daria?
As she turns, Ornan, you see the spitting image of Sylvie.
It's Daria.
You see, she is dressed in this black gown with gold down the front and like some maroon or scarlet paneling down the side. She's got weird lacy cuffs at her elbows. For some reason, they're not connected to the rest of the dress, but it works. Her hair is done up. You can see that she's got like an undercut, but she's styled her hair differently for this. And if she is playing the part of Nari in Unlikely, that's probably why her hair is cut the way that it is. But her face looks surprisingly like Sylvie. And
She looks cool as hell.
one more thing that you do see here, you do see that sitting in some chairs, there's like some chairs and some benches around the north side and the south side. You do see that there are 3 Goliaths, these large men that are sitting in chairs. They look incredibly out of place. They have done their best to be dressed nicely, but it doesn't work on them. It's almost like, I want to say like they look like Chippendale dancers, where they got like bow ties and these
strippers.
super tight shirts on, and
they're the strippers waiting for their music cue.
Oh man.
Yes. And then as you're glancing around the room, you do see one more Goliath. You see a female Goliath who is standing there talking to Lando Calrissian. You see she is wearing a purple dress, purple gown. She's got this rich looking kind of fur trimmed robe on. And as the guys sitting in the north,
Dude,
She looks like she just came off of Eurovision.
It's not the robe that she has on. That's
I know. I was thinking she looks like an Eastern European punk, like lead singer for a punk band. Also, I love the placement of those strategic sequins.
yes, AI does that all the time.
They're definitely placed strategically.
Okay. So anyway, where the other Goliaths seem like totally out of place, this one, she looks like she is fitting right in. Okay, so this is what you guys have seen just here on the ground floor. There's a balcony to the north and to the south as well. So what do you guys want to do? The Feast of Sweets Feast pie contest has not started yet. It looks like this is mingle time. There are maids and butlers moving around with trays of food. It's all finger food and trays of like wine or, some maybe some little bit harder spirits as well. What do you guys want to do?
Did you guys point out all the things you were seeing, or does Guy only still notice the people dancing in the middle?
Ornan would have pointed out. Well, I'll say it. Guy, do you see Neldor's sister over there? It seems like she's talking to Closton Cubby.
Oh my god. This is the perfect opportunity. I'll see you guys later.
And he's gone. All right.
We didn't even have time to point out all the other beautiful people we saw.
I don't care, everybody. I'll see you around.
There were so many beautiful people.
All right. Okay, so we know where Guy is going. You see Closton Cubby as Guy approaches. Closton Cubby kind of looks over at Guy. He's like, hello. And then he kind of makes way and moves over to give room for Guy to come and join the conversation. Closton Cubby introduces you. He says, Shireen, this is, I'm sorry, Ross, this is Mr. Ross Lacrosse, and he's been a patron of mine. Let me just tell you, he is very loaded at this point, I can tell you. It looks like Closton Cubby's been having some drinks. Now, I know because I gave him all that money, because I'm also fabulously wealthy. Okay, so Guy, before you have your conversation with Shireen, Ornan and Sylvie, what are you doing? Baldric moves out and starts to mingle. He finds there is a dwarf and a man who are just talking, and he just starts kind of wandering around with his violin. You guys can hear, I forgot one more thing, you guys can hear music in the air coming from the north balcony. Okay, what do you guys want to do?
I'm feeling decision paralysis.
Okay. There are balconies. I'm telling you what, guys, there is more to see on the balconies as well. This is just walking in. And just play-wise, guys, there are hooks all over the place in here.
All right. Ornan will go up to the balcony.
Okay, you gonna go the north one or the south one?
The north one.
Okay, Ornan, you walk past this Dyrinian guard, and she kind of nods at you as you walk by, and you head up to the north balcony.
Oh, Paul, can you put Prancival here with me as well? Of course he's with me.
Oh, yeah. Well, he got all dressed up.
Sylvie's gonna follow Ornan, because I don't think she knows what to do down here.
Okay.
I didn't see the pies yet, so I think we talk with people?
That seems disappointing. I was really excited to watch people eat pies. Not that that's what I'm into.
You can be into whatever you like.
Yeah, moving you guys over.
Is it like a cake farts thing for you? Not so much the eating, but watching somebody fart on them?
Oh, that's not something I've ever heard of, but that's very specific, Guy.
Is there a Mandalorian right there?
Okay, so here's the deal.
No.
Ornan and Sylvie.
Oh.
Ornan and Sylvie, you walk up the stairs, and right before you get to the top step, straight ahead, you see two prelates of Annalise. Two prelates of Aeona. You see that there is this man.
That guy needs to be punched.
He is probably 28, maybe 30. He's got long black hair, clean shaven. He's got this sort of arrogant, haughty
Hair
look.
looks greasy as though.
Yeah, well, and also it doesn't take much to recognize that standing right next to him is some sort of warrior. It looks like, yes, it is. It is a warden, one of these Navorian wardens, these warriors who accompany spellcasters that work for Aeona. This prelate could very well be a Navorian, which is, that seems odd, especially to you, Ornan. The prelates and church, like the people who work in the actual temples and churches, tend to be Hemnolites more than any other denomination. And for a Navorian, and not just any other denomination or any other sect, but for it to be a Navorian who is very new as far as sects of Aeona to already have achieved the rank of prelate, that tells you something. Sitting on the other side of the balcony, not looking at the other prelate, you see a second prelate. This one she is young. She is probably 25. She also has a lot of gold embroidery on her black gown. She's wearing the black hood. Ornan and Sylvie, please both make perception checks.
Nat 1.
Ornan got a 17.
Okay, Ornan, you are just really good at spotting elves. This woman is an elf, but she has tucked her ears into her hood, and as you're looking, you realize...
See, I told you sometimes they tuck their ears.
Jesus Christ, stop being so racist, Ornan.
I didn't mean it as... Sorry.
So you recognize that this woman is, she is a prelate, and she is also an elf, and that seems to be hiding or at least disguising her appearance. As you look further into the balcony, you see that the head concierge, Mr. Bell, is speaking with an older black man wearing elaborate armor, not glistening, shining armor like the Knights of Helm. This is very, you can see that it's plate armor, but it doesn't shine. This is like battle ready, but still very, very well built. You see this old warrior, probably in his 60s, and they are discussing something. And further on, you see a band you recognize. I even gave them a name.
I love it. Oh, what's their name?
You see...
Cammy Lateau.
You see...
Oh, boy.
Can you guys read that?
That's the drummer's name. No, you told me that before.
Okay, yes. You see Connie Dupree and the Nubile Nine. You see Angelica.
Nubile 9.
No.
Jeez.
You see Angelica, the harpist. You see Anna Piana, the piano player. You see Cami Lateau. You see Cindy Six. you see Cindy Six Digi.
Cindy 6
Of course, there's Connie Dupree, who is the conductor. You see Jessica Rotol, the flute player, but she goes by Jeff. But she goes by Jeff.
Wait, she's a
Jeff.
flute player, she said?
Yeah, she's Jessica Rotol,
That
but she goes by
bitch.
Jeff Rotol.
Jeff
Probably doesn't even know how to play flute.
Jeez.
There is a bassoonist named
It's
Quinley.
like a balloon with S's.
You see Sasha Seven Fingers, the violinist. You see Strumbolina, who's playing the guitar. And then off to the side, you see a woman with a lute around her waist. And you see she's wearing a red jacket. She's got a big, red hat, oversized. She's got a lacy cravat at her neck. But you can see that she has this little chain that connects the collar of her jacket that is connected with 2 spoons. You see Tedwardina. It looks like the cast, or at least part of the cast of Unlikely is here doing music for the Feast of Sweets Feast.
I can't believe we got to meet Ted Wardina.
Guys, Cindy 6 Digi.
I talked to her super drunk at the.
Yes, you did. You were pretty sure that when you were drunk, she was into you. You were also in drag.
This is true.
Oh gosh. All right. Now here's the deal. This is the north balcony. From standing up here, you can also see the south balcony. You see on one end, you see that there is this. It looks like they're a couple. They're sitting on one of these couches together. You see a well-dressed man. He's wearing a black jacket with a doublet over it. He's got some shoulder pads on, but it looks like this is not armor. But he looks very important. And then you see that he is sitting next to a woman who is also about the same age. She's wearing this beautiful golden dress, gown covered in jewels and gems. You see they're talking with this dark-haired woman who she also appears to be older. She looks to be, quite attractive as well. And then you can see, Ornan, you lived in Beregrad for years. You recognize Nalira Silvercrest.
Oh no.
Is chatting with this old couple.
Oh man. Sylvie, I think that was Guy's former lover.
Not the one that's into you know what.
Yeah, the murdering one with the secret room and.
Well, that's not great.
Yes, we should probably go tell Guy. She's in a spot where she might have seen him.
Wait, who is she talking to? She's talking to this old guy?
She's talking to an old couple. They're probably in their mid to late 60s. The man is very, very thin and slender, but looks like he's fit. The woman is also very fit as well. They are dressed, though. They have this air of importance. Where everyone else is wearing jewels and gems and everything, he is dressed. His outfit almost looks like a uniform of some kind, and her outfit, she actually has a small crown on her head, but it looks more like adornment as opposed to actually any kind of rank necessarily. This is not the Baroness or anything like that, but they look very important, and they are speaking with Nalira Silvercrest. You also see that there is one of these city guards is actually standing kind of off to the side, and you're not sure if the city guard is there for this older couple or if they're there for Nalira Silvercrest, but it looks like they are some sort of protection up here on the balcony. Moving a little further down the balcony, you see that there are 2 more orcs, and it doesn't take you a perception check to recognize this man and woman. They are both also dressed in kind of leather and chain and rugged clothing. You recognize that they are just kind of looking down at the ballroom below, and they are scowling. They do not want to be here. And one of them is the man, the broad, younger orc who you saw arguing with Torgal earlier today.
Okay. I also think I see
2 more groups of people.
2 more groups of people. Jeez.
Wait, we see Neldor?
There are so many people in here. Yeah, isn't that Neldor right there?
Yeah, my thing wasn't all the way down.
At the far end of the balcony, you see a figure that you recognize. You see a Leonin man with a lion's mane. You see he's wearing a burgundy doublet. You can see he's dressed very nice. He's cuts a dashing figure. He's got an ornamental sword at his waist. You recognize Neldor Martin is here, and he's speaking with 2 women who seem to be it looks like they're hanging on every word he has to say. And the last group you see up here on the balcony, on the southern balcony, you see a group of 3 what must be other acolytes of different churches. You see the harvest mistress Lilfay, the halfling harvest mistress of Shantea, the one who, quote unquote, brought Mogram back to life. She is here. She's sitting in a chair chatting with 2 other acolytes. You see that there is a man, no arcana check needed. He is wearing red and orange and yellow robes. He's got this headdress on that looks like it's made out of feathers or peacock feathers, but it looks like almost like a sunburst over his head. It looks like this is some sort of priest or maybe like Morning Lord of Lathander. And then the last person you see is a gnomish woman. She has white hair, looks like she's fairly young, very smooth skin. Her outfit is decorated with like moonstones, lots of blues and kind of pearls and things. You see, you can just tell with her adornments, this must be some sort of priest or priestess of Selune. Okay, Guy. You are down at the in the bottom. Let me start that over.
I'm down in the bottom.
Down in the bottom.
Guy, you were down on the ballroom floor. You are relatively close to this old middle-aged Asian woman who is dancing by herself, and you are speaking with Shireen, Shadow Rose, and Closton Cubby. Before you say anything, I imagine the conversation starts well, but Guy, perception check as you are looking around.
Okay, another perception check. Let's do this. It's a 21. Nice.
21. As you are talking to Shireen, you see Closton Cubby, he kind of loses interest in the conversation for a second, and you kind of watch him as he glances to the south, and he makes eye contact with the Fire Genasi woman, the bard, who has that flaming red hair. He makes eye contact with her, and you see him kind of shift his head in your direction.
Okay.
And then he turns back and joins back in the conversation. He's like, you'll have to excuse me, Shireen. I'm going to go and see if they have any more of those little finger sandwiches. For me, they're pretty good size. But I'm going to go see if I can find any more of those little cucumber sandwiches. Would you care for one? And she goes, no, thank you, Closton Cubby. It was nice to meet you. Maybe we will speak again more this evening. He says, and then he like gives her a kiss on her hand, and he moves away. Guy, you are here with Shireen Shadow Rose, who
finally,
when I described her before, I told you that she was probably the most beautiful woman you had ever seen. And you know what? It looks like she may still be in mourning. Her dress is black. It is silky and shimmery, but it is still definitely black. But she is this beautiful woman, brown hair kind of pulled back, black choker at her neck.
Maybe she just looks good in black.
Mm-hmm. And so, Guy, she goes, and Ross Lacrosse, so tell me, what brings you here to Kladvina to the Feast of Sweets feast?
I apologize, actually. I think I may have you at a little bit of a disadvantage. I never actually met you, but I have been to your home in Martin's Rest fairly recently.
Oh, yes. My parents, they entertain a lot of people there. Yes. So you must be important.
I was actually there with your brother.
Oh, Neldor?
Yes. You know the whole business
are you
with the
drinking companion? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You know the whole business with the bandits attacking and trying to overthrow your family?
Oh. Yes, I'm aware. Yes.
Well, I was one of those warriors who bravely and heroically saved your city.
Yes, my brother said something about that when he got here this morning. He said that he took care of it all.
Oh, you had already left, so you weren't even there for all the, the triumphal entry with all the prisoners and, finding evidence of a conspiracy to overthrow the city in the name of the Elven Kingdom to the north. Any of that?
What do you know of a conspiracy to overthrow the kingdom? Overthrow the... I'm sorry. Let's start over.
Aren't you impressed? Come on, this is awesome.
You can tell she is impressed.
Oh, you haven't seen my face yet either.
She's like...
My helmet's down.
She's like, let's start over.
Yes.
I'm Shireen Shadowrose. It is a pleasure to meet you.
And my name... Well, my stage name is Ross Lacrosse, but you can call me Guillaume of Grants Harbor.
As you say, Guillaume of Grants Harbor, you see this fire genasi woman approach, and she says,
one at a time, ladies, one at a time.
She goes, so that's the name of the man who took my helmet.
No?
Wait, what?
And she looks over at Klaus and Cubby, and she's like, he told me he sold it to somebody who'd be here, and it's you. I want my helmet back.
Oh, no, it's a beautiful helmet. I'd be willing to, it's really great. Did you have the payment for it? As far as I understood, you hadn't actually paid for it yet.
No, I hadn't paid for it, and I do have the helmet was made from me.
You know what? It's all right. I'm filthy rich. I'll get it for you. Don't you worry. My name is, let's just say Ross Lacrosse.
Well, you already said Guy of Grants Harbor, and I heard that. My name is Ileana Emberglow.
Ileana Emberglow.
Perhaps you've heard of me?
Yes. Who hasn't heard of Ileana Emberglow? This is a deception check. Wait, do you want me to check to see if I actually have heard of her?
I mean, you have heard of her in that Klaus Cubby told you that he made the helmet for her.
Okay.
And that she was a bard and that she might be returning for the competition.
Well, I'll pretend that I actually do know her and I rolled a 27 deception.
She said, then you know that not only am I the greatest performer here, but I will also be winning the tournament that starts tomorrow.
Oh, you're competing. Okay, that's fantastic.
Yes, the helmet was for me to wear in the tournament. So yes, I would appreciate it. Okay, so Sylvie and Ornan, what are you guys going to do? You're up here on the balcony, and you can see that music is playing. Ted Rodina appears to be stepping back, waiting to probably sing or something. What are you guys going to do? Do you want to stay up here? You guys want to head back down?
I can't decide if I want to go talk to Ted Rodina or if I want to go downstairs.
I want to go talk to Neldor. So I think Sylvie would want to keep an eye on Nella Wafer and just kind of go try to casually chat with Neldor. Roll on up there.
Ornan would want to go down to Guy real quick to mention what he saw.
You guys are heading back down the stairs. Sylvie, you take off towards the southwest corner so you can go to the other balcony to talk with Neldor. And Ornan, you walk down the stairs and you spot Guy talking with two beautiful women. And they
As if there was any doubt that's how this evening was going to go.
Guy, there's another beautiful woman who's here to kill you. All right. So are you going to go interrupt that conversation?
Yeah. Ornan will walk up and say, excuse me a moment. Lacrosse, Mr. Lacrosse.
Yes, Toonses.
I saw an old friend on the balcony above us. From Bergrad, an old acquaintance of yours that we couldn't find after a time. So perhaps you might go and chat with them at some point. But not to interrupt what's happening here, I just wanted to make sure my friend is aware of what I'm trying to tell him. Goodbye.
All right, and then goodbye, Toonses. Nice to meet you.
I think that was the most cryptic Ornan's ever been.
I know.
Gee, I
I'm
need you to
surprised
make-
you didn't say Baal worshiper ex-girlfriend anywhere in that sentence.
So, Guy, Matt, but Guy, I need you to make an insight check, and I need some sort of a check from Ornan to see if he gets the message across.
I
Some
got
sort
a
of
12 insight.
I'm gonna
Performance?
say performance. Yeah, I was gonna say deception, but I think performance. Yeah, I think that works better.
Ornan got an 11 performance.
And
Guy,
Guy got
you
a
have
12 insight. Yeah.
Okay. How does that work? Yeah. That was the difficulty. No, wait. How did that work?
Based on that, so Ornan would set the difficulty with his check, and then I would have to beat the difficulty.
So then the others could make an insight, beat 11, and see that I'm being crazy.
Okay, they both look at you, Ornan, and they both look at Guy, and they both recognize, ex-girlfriend's here. Ileana kind of says, well, yes, I will expect my helmet. Where can I get it?
Oh, well, are you asking for my room number already? Okay, I'll give it to you.
I will be by in the morning to get my helmet, and I will pay you back for that helmet. Thank you very much, Rostacross / Guy of Grants Harbor. And then she moves off through, and you are left here with Shireen, Shadow Rose. Sylvie, you have moved across the ballroom, and you have gone over to the staircase that goes up to the south balcony. As you are moving across, you hear all kinds of different conversation as you move around the room. As you move past, as you recall, I told you that there was like an old dwarf man who looked like he was some sort of an acolyte of some sort, who was speaking with the archivist of the Prolian archive. As you walk by, you hear a couple of words kind of jump out at you. You hear necropurge. And then as you kind of listen in, you can hear this goblin going, oh yeah, the recent rise in this necrotic activity. I mean, this is unprecedented. These Krahanest and their necropurges, it seems like it's becoming more and more common, and now right here in our backyard, I can't quite figure it out. And then you hear this older dwarf man say, there's something bigger I expect. I think this necrotic activity is more a symptom and not necessarily the problem itself. And then you hear this archivist say, well, Oracle Growlin, what makes you say that? Sylvie, make a history check.
I got a 21 history check.
The name Growlin, specifically Oracle Growlin, something strikes your, hits your memory. And with a 21, you beat the 20 difficulty. You know the name Growlin. And as you pass by this old dwarf, you remember stories from the hive. You remember stories of a dwarven diviner named Growlin Runeglow that left the hive years before, probably even before you were born. But he didn't leave the hive because of to go have a different life. He left the hive basically doing what you are doing right now, Sylvia, what you're supposed to be doing, and that is finding new people to come and live there. This could be someone from your family that you've never met. And the name Oracle Growlin, with your history check, you would know that Oracle is it's sort of a title that the worshippers of Savris, who is kind of the god of divination and foretelling, you know that is a title that they take upon themselves. You'd also know, if you recall, I mean, this was a few weeks ago, but on your trip around being shown around town, the Einar, the racist dwarf gondolier, he did mention that there was a temple of Savras here on the Isle of Mears in the city, and that divination used to be kind of very popular, but it has since gone out of favor. And you recognize now, oh, that means that like trying to divine the future using arcane means is no longer allowed. It has now become taboo. But the Office of Oracle still exists here in town.
And he seems to be getting like reasonable respect.
It looks like with the title
he's
of
up
Oracle,
in these balconies.
the title of Oracle would mean that he probably runs the temple. He's probably the high cleric of the temple. You assume, just by hearing the name Oracle, that he is probably one of the members of the Court of Clerics, which, as you recall, there is a Court of Knights and there's a Court of Clerics that are kind of like the Senate and the kind of like Congress here in the city of Kladvina. And the Court of Clerics is the group of all of the heads of the different churches here in the city. So this guy might actually have quite a bit of power, even if he's not supposed to be using arcane power. He might have political power.
Nice.
But yeah, you move past him to go and talk to Neldor. Let's see here. Ornan, where did you go after your conversation?
I wouldn't call it a conversation.
Ornan would have tried to go to the Goliath woman and like start chatting with that group that was there.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I had to roll so I couldn't decide. I had to roll the dice and let the dice decide.
Okay, gotcha. Let me see. I've got to go through all my notes. Oh, one more person. Now that you guys have moved around the room a little bit, this person was actually kind of behind some pillars and things. You recognize one other person as you guys have been moving around the ballroom. And this person kind of, I wouldn't say blended in, but just not a very memorable face. You didn't see this guy for very long. You recognize Anthony Fletcher, the man in Corbuli who was trying to get a ride with you. You see that he is here as well, dressed very nicely. If you recall, he worked for Vandalay Industries, and he is actually talking with the cute Tabaxi couple currently. But you head over to talk with a Goliath woman. Fantastic. Let's see here.
Oh, there.
I still have to pull up what she's going to talk about. Give me a second. I'm trying to find her.
Ask about her workout routine.
I think I might. Maybe I should arm wrestle her.
So I've been told I have a nice looking ass. What do you think?
That was a great Ornan voice.
Oh my god. You see, as you approach, she turns to you and she says, "Oh, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?"
I'm great. You are quite.
What school do you go to?
You are so tall up there.
And you are quite short. My name is Lewix.
It's a pleasure, Lewix. Ornan Opalbleacher at your service.
Unlike the other women here at the ballroom, she does not hold out her hand to be kissed. Well, I mean, not all the other women, but she holds out your hand for a handshake, which, as you recall, canon is a predator handshake.
Ornan will predator handshake, and do I get like warrior vibes from her?
You do, yes.
Okay. Ornan will squeeze like hard, like real hard.
Okay. All right. She squeezes right back. She says, are you by any chance entering into the Feast of Sweets tournament?
Well,
I might see you across the field.
I was planning on doing the pie eating contest, but I had
the real test of champions.
I hadn't decided if I was going to compete in the other. My traveling companions, we are one short of a full team as it stands. One of ours is well, it's a long story.
Well, if
He's eating pies in the sky now, if you know what I mean.
He's eating pies in the skies with two white guys.
She goes, well, good luck with the pie. But it's probably best that you didn't enter the lists. I mean, look, Torgal and his Tuskers are here, and they'll be quite a challenge. But of course, you wouldn't want to go up against me and my group, the Giants of Gaul.
Oh, the Giants of Gaul. I wasn't sold on entering the competition, but perhaps I could talk my friends into it. But again, we're short one person.
How great would it be if you did compete with just 3? That would be stories to talk about.
Ooh, you're talking me into this a little. Perhaps. All right.
You can tell that she, this is flirting for her.
Oh.
She wants to press her body against yours.
Oh dear.
No, not necessarily, but like this is what gets her going, like is as feats of strength and stuff like that. So like she likes you more now because
if there's a check that I can make that involves strength, I'll be better at that than others.
Take her to the ground. Just a double leg takedown right now.
Well, I'm not certain that I will compete, but perhaps you and I could test our strength against each other.
She looks around the room
hot.
and she's like, fine. She looks around the room. She's like, finally, somebody worth talking to. And she kind of reaches over, puts her hand on your shoulder, and she takes you aside to a bench. And the two of you are now off talking, just the two of you.
An arm wrestling contest. That's what we should start with.
Guy, you are still having a conversation with Shireen Shadowrose.
So anyway, then we put her in a crate and had some of the prisoners carry her back to Martin's Rest and, arrived as heroes.
Hero stuff.
Hero stuff.
Well, I really appreciate what you've done for my family and for my city. My brother and I don't necessarily agree on the Knights of Helm, but I can see that you did some good, and so thank you. I appreciate it. And if you're a friend of my brother, then I know that you're trustworthy. My brother, he has his faults, but he is a trustworthy and good man. He's upstairs, actually. He just got in this morning.
Oh, he's here. Oh, maybe I'll have to stop by and say hi. After I take care of some unsavory old business.
Yes, previous relationships can be tough. You see that she gets a little bit down when she says that.
Oh, hey, listen. I'm sure. I'm so sorry. Obviously, you are still in mourning. I understand from your attire. This isn't anything like that. This is,
Oh,
there was almost death involved, but it would have been my death. So, and I'm not exaggerating.
Oh, okay. Well, I tell you what.
I'm in room 302.
She says, give me a second. I have to look at the actual room. She says, I'm in room 215.
Oh, wait, okay.
She says, my brother trusted you. And my brother has come here to help me. So I feel like I can trust you as well. After the Feast of Sweets feast, maybe we can talk more. A little, where it's a little less public. And she kind of looks around the room.
2:15. I will see you later.
Thank you. A pleasure to meet you, Guy. And then she turns around and goes around to go mingle more. I want you to make an insight check or a persuasion check or a perception check as you watch her walk away.
And I'm watching her walk away. It was a 19 perception.
You see that she goes over and starts talking. She looks around the crowd and she zeroes in on Anthony Fletcher. She zeroes in on the member of Vandalay Industries. And she goes over to go find him and to talk with him.
Okay.
All right. Sylvie, you get up to the balcony on the south side. You see Neldor is standing there. You see that there are these two like rich middle-aged women. There's an Asian woman in a red dress. She looks very nice. Her hair's done up with beads and pearls. You see that there's this black woman in this very like elaborate gown with flowing sleeves. Her hair is also done up and beautiful with lots of different colors. And Neldor he's got a drink in one hand. He's kind of standing there cutting that dashing figure. And these women are enjoying the view as he is talking to them about, the stresses of running Martin's Rest. Not as large as Kladvina, but I mean, Martin's Rest is a very important waypoint. And, we don't have the oversight of a court of clerics or a court of knights. No baroness to watch over us. No, we take care of our city ourselves. And he looks over and sees you, Sylvie. He says, Sylvie.
Oh, Neldor.
Pardon me.
Yes, I hear you talking about taking care of things for yourself. Please go on.
Oh, I was just explaining to them how important it is to take care of Martin's Rest. It is an important city along the river and trade and all that. But excuse me, woman. I'll return. I see a friend I haven't seen for a while. Sylvie, please, let's catch up for a second. And he steps back to some chairs and he motions for you to sit down across from him.
Awesome. Yeah, no, Sylvie will sit down, and I would love to hear about how Martin's Rest is doing, actually. I've been thinking about you guys a lot and how we left it. Would love to know what happened.
Well, actually, I'm not exactly sure either. You left town after I gave you the reward, and it was just a few hours later I found out that my sister had come here. And she's kind of headstrong, and I could not let her be here doing what she's doing by herself without some protection. So,
what is it that she's doing?
He looks around to make sure nobody's overhearing, and then he kind of leans towards you a little bit, and he says, she's trying to figure out who killed her husband. Then he kind of sits back. Of course, being the good brother I got on a ship, and I left pretty quickly after you did, actually. I'm sure things are fine now in Martin's Rest, what with Megan still in jail and all of the, well, not all of the bandits, but at least a large chunk of them are, still are still under guard.
And the, what was it? What was the guild there? The soldiers? The paladins?
The Knights of Helm?
The Knights of Helm. How are they doing?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I left.
You didn't stop to see what was going on with them before you left.
They'll figure it out. Their leader, Sir Fargus Steelshot, had gone far afield to hunt down more of these bandits, not realizing that we already took the head from the snake.
I'm not sure we did, to be honest. I think you should write home at your earliest convenience.
I will take that under advisement. What brings you here, Sylvie?
Oh, we're just, traveling down the river as we do, saving one thing after another. I suppose, honestly, your sister, it sounds like, could use some saving. Sounds like she's looking for a murderer. Maybe we should offer her our service.
She might take you up on that. However, I think it's a fool's errand between you and me.
And why's that?
She's convinced that her husband was murdered because of his connections to the Prosperous Path and to Vandalay and whatever else he was involved in. He was a very wealthy merchant, and he traveled all around Pythria and over into Varia. Not so much in Alaron, but he even went down to Rovia and Siren as well. So got a lot of different places, a lot of chances to, make enemies, a lot of chances to be attacked by bandits. But she's convinced that the Prosperous Path or Vandalay Industries or something that maybe they're involved in his death. So I'm here to make sure she doesn't get into too much trouble. And of course, lend my support because she's my sister and I love her.
Well, that's very kind of you. I'm sure that's appreciated. Maybe we'll discuss it with her. Maybe we'll be able to help her out. But I would really recommend you write home and come talk to us when you do. We're up in the room on the 3rd floor in the North Tower.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding, 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 ding. There is a bell that is ringing out as you guys are having this conversation. Everything stops and everybody looks to the north balcony. The music has stopped as well as the old man, the black man wearing the battle armor steps forward and steps up towards to the railing and calls out to everyone in attendance.
It's pie time.
Woo! Warriors, adventurers, and lovers of fine confections, I welcome you on this glorious occasion. Before we begin, I give thanks to Tempest, the Lord of Battles, for granting us the strength to gather on the morrow in the hallowed halls of the Tempestarium. But tonight, we set aside our swords and shields to test our mettle in a different arena, the annual Feast of Sweet Sweets Feast. Look around you, my friends. The very air hums with excitement, as fierce as the battlefield before the first clash of steel. The finest teams from across the realms have assembled here in the Grand Towers Hotel Ballroom, and I see among you the victors of years past, the unstoppable Torgal's Tuskers, and the mighty Giants of Gaul. As he kind of mentions those names, the orcs all kind of wave. And then he mentions the Giants of Gaul and these Goliaths that are sitting in the corner looking so uncomfortable, look even more uncomfortable, all except for the one who is speaking with Ornan, whose name is...
We're mid-arm wrestle.
And her name is Lewix. He continues. Your triumphs are etched in the annals of this sacred competition, and today, new legends shall rise to join your ranks. But know this year's competition is as fierce as any we have seen. The prize, a kingly sum of 4,000 gold pieces awaits the victors, a treasure worthy of any hero's hoard, but also a treasure, a trinket, a prize. And he reaches behind him and he holds, he grabs something from behind him and he holds it up for all to see. And you see, this beautifully crafted greatsword with images of elves slain and killed and dead as he holds up the Elf's Bane greatsword. This, a sword worthy of any hero of Pythria. The spoils shall all be divided among the champions who prove themselves on the field of battle, but that is on the morrow. Tonight, let us feast and make merry. There's plenty of time for blood in the coming days, so raise your goblets high, and may Tempest grant you the strength to prevail in this first, most delectable of contests, the pie-eating race. Let the Feast of Sweets Feast officially begin! And that is where we're going to stop for tonight.
Oh man. Bravo, Paul. Jeez, I want to talk to everybody.
Contest. Oh my God, that was so many people, dude.
You know what? I know it may have seemed a little bit overwhelming, but there is so much going on.
That might have felt overwhelming, but there's so much going on. Thanks. That makes me feel less overwhelmed.
Like, I want to take a screenshot of all these different tokens so that everyone can see kind of what we're dealing with here in this ballroom. But
yeah, I had to roll a dice to decide who to go talk to because I couldn't figure it out.
Not me. I knew exactly where I was going.
I mean, just so you guys are aware, all of the different clerics from all the different churches are here. You've got people who are running the town currently as the Baroness is gone. You've got warriors of hero and renown. You've got a worshiper of Baal who's talking with some random folks. You've got Camille Leteau playing the drums.
Yes.
All right, guys.
Yes.
So don't forget we have a Patreon. So go check that out if you want to see these maps of the ballroom and the rest
I've heard
of
there's a pants party.
Yes.
Can I just say, I love that you made a song called about a pants party, and that's straight up just a reference to a joke from Steve Carell in Anchorman.
Yes. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And you guys are just the right group to get it and to love it. All right, guys.
Anchorman's 10 out of 10.
Yeah. So don't forget though. Go check out our Patreon. I understand that Asa and Ellis, that they became patrons specifically to see the wiki, so they can see the different maps and all the different characters that we have here in the podcast. And well, this one won't. No. Hey, it was great seeing everybody at FanX. I think this is coming out after we finish at FanX. Hey guys, remember that time we did that thing at FanX? That was great. I remember that other thing, not so great. But don't worry.
It was great to see Jordan. Great to see Jordan at FanX. Yes. And like he said, Jordan will be back. Don't worry.
Yes. All right. So, Patreon, go leave us a rating and a review. And until next time, we hope you have a great time. Govna.
Oh my God, no. What?